Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
Yeah, well, I gotta say this. Yeah, it's still the first week of the new year, and, Congress isn't the only thing that's kind of stuck in a rut, it seems. Seems like a lot of the stuff is, a few days in, I can get it. Like, you're excited and you're happy and all. But then later on, you start to feel like, here we are. Starting to really shape up and not look any different than what we had to deal with the last few years since COVID been around. Anyway, that's not all the case. Let's go on ahead and start this right. Welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
How's it going, J360 Legion? What is up? Welcome to the J-Man Show here for 285. I am your host, J-Man, of course, and we are climbing up that mountain. We're finally going to get to 300 episodes. Oh yeah, Jams isn't the only one that's going to hit a milestone after a while. This show, the flagship show, the one that started it all, will be sure to hit the 300, and I'm very excited for it, I'm going to have a very special episode planned for that. Wouldn't that be ironic if it landed on, Valentine's Day or something? Oh my God, if it landed on a holiday, I'm really going to act a fool then. I'm telling you that right now. I'm going to have some fun. This is 2023, man. This is what we all been looking forward to. Come on, this is the time to do those things. However, pump your brake for a minute. The thing about it is, as I said in the cold open, there are moments where you're like, yeah, see, because it's still new and the novelty's just right. But then you take a look at the news, and then you take a look at how people are acting on the social, and then you see that some people actually went back to work. And now they're all starting to act, you know what, yeah. It's a dip, baby. It's a dip. And I totally get it, there are times where it's like, I really put a lot of pressure on myself this year, and it's only the 1st of January. Look, if you're not going to exercise this week, go for it next week, or go for it the week after that, or just figure out another way of doing things. Hell, you can wait till February if you want to, right? I mean, it's not like June's just around the corner and that's the end game for you. If there's one thing I've noticed, a lot of us these days and age are about the hustle. The hustle culture is really, really strong in us. And a lot of people try to say, the hustle culture is dead. Oh, we should not be out there trying to crush anything. No, we should go ahead and just try to be, patient and calm about things. Yeah, you should be patient, but there's such a thing as active patience. And there is such a thing as don't really try to put too much on yourself. And I have to remember that from time to time running J360 Productions. Because there's a lot of things I want to do, and I have the ability to do those things. But, I got to go ahead and take it one day at a time, Like as I'm building the animation station over here, I had to take my sweet time on making sure everything's correct, make sure I got all I need before I really, really jump in and start doing a whole bunch of cool things for you. That being said, though, I remember somebody saying, hey, Jay, you can look into AI art. And I said, hey, why don't you shut the F up? That's not what I do. Like, trust me, I know a lot of y'all are proponents about this. I know a lot of people that speak on behalf of this. They always try to come up with some reason of why AI art is the future. And let me just say this. It is the future, but at the same time, much like any tool, it's going to be discarded as soon as you find something new. It's kind of like virtual reality sometimes. Oh, yeah, we keep trying to make VR a big deal, a big thing. And, yeah, you can go ahead and throw a MetaQuest at me if you want to. You can go ahead and throw, the PlayStation 5's version of VR coming, which, by the way, that looks pretty interesting. But let me just say this. They're gimmicks after a while. What's going to happen when something really, really new comes around? You're not even going to think about it. You're not going to use that stuff. And even then, as we are about these things, like new technology that comes into play, we're not even responsible for the technology that we always use, such as social media, for instance. Like, no matter how many rules, no matter how many times, certain scum get, censored or whatever, or certain rules come into play, or dare you step on the toes of the powers that be because, hey, you actually outsmarted them and you told them how flawed their terms of services are. Instead of just taking responsibility and coming to a compromise, what they're going to do is they're going to make you a social pariah, or they're going to ban you, or they're going to come up with more and more reasons why to hold you back as a creator. Oh, you don't really fit with our algorithm. Oh, you're too radical. Oh, blah, 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 you're too this and all. It's so stupid sometimes. And as I say that, the censorship about a few things is beyond ridiculous. Because, they come at me sometimes about a few things regarding, profane language and all. My show, and I know my demographic, my show is not made for kids. All of this right here is not made for kids. This is for adults that are in the early 20 bracket all the way to at least the 40s. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not making things for the 55 and up crowd, even though they can come down and really listen to what I'm saying. I try to be approachable, but at the same time, I know who I make these shows for. You see what I'm saying? And the kids are not a factor in that. Matter of fact, I made sure that I filled out that whole COPPA survey that I'm supposed to fill out for J360 TV to be assured of that. You see what I'm saying? Or the moment on Twitch where it's like, hey, this broadcaster says everything around here is going to be 18 and plus content. If I wanted to do something for the kids, trust me, I have a plan for it. But the thing about it is, it's probably going to be a lot different than what's here on the home front. See what I'm saying? And then you got to make sure that you're actually teaching them and telling them the right things, too. Just like I have to tell you guys the right things, I had to explain what a meme was on the mini bites. Like I said, it wasn't such a big deal to actually put it on the J-Man show. But you know what? I just have to remind you exactly why comedy exists, though. That's why that episode was there. Damn shame, isn't it? Yeah, like I said, we're barely a week in, and some of you have not changed at all and stayed the same, which is a damn shame. Could be better than this, could be. But once again, though, I really see that it's there, but at the same time, I also see that, it takes effort on your part, and you're just not ready yet. You're just not there to where you can go ahead and do that stuff. Now, you can get mad at me all you want to, but, hey, I'm not wrong. It's just one of them things that you got to think about sometimes when you go about doing that kind of stuff. You all were talking about new year, new you and all, and you always talk about, hey, you're going to go for that next job, or you're going to go ahead and lose your 20 pounds, or you're going to go ahead and actually put yourself out there and go meet a mate or something like that. A lot of y'all say that stuff, but you don't apply jack, and that's your problem. You know what I mean? You don't apply a damn thing. You're not making good on this stuff. And I know this crap. I remember one time signing up for Tinder for fun, you know what I mean? Just to see what it's like. And this is after my breakup, I went over there just to see what was out there, just to see all the stuff. And I've noticed the insecurities are up to the front, And then I notice like some of the people that are saying, you gotta have a 6-figure income, you gotta have a home life, you gotta have money coming in, you gotta have a job. Oh yeah, I can have a job. Hell, I can go work for Waffle House. While at the same time, go work for Target. And see, the thing about it is, all the money that comes into play still won't be enough for me to get this big fancy house, and it's nowhere near like that 6-figure income we're talking about. So while we're on the subject here, I'm still making money though. It's still coming in, but guess what? Inflation comes around to the point where, you know what? Yeah, I don't think that stuff's coming into play. We're going to have to settle for this apartment. But, hey, you know what? If I live minimalistic, that's a problem too. Or, hey, guess what? The fact that I watch anime and animation, mostly because that's what I've been pursuing quite a lot in my filmmaking career, in addition to other things. But, you don't give a damn about that, right? You just see a grown man watching cartoons and living the best way he could, right? You don't even care at that point, and I'm already in the friend zone. I'm not even in the friend zone at that point because I don't fit up to your standards. See, when it comes to that whole thing, even if I got the mansion, even if I got the compound, even if I got the area where like all my arcade one-ups are, and like, everything is moving very smoothly for me, and the brand is making so much money 10 times over that I could buy and sell like at least 10 to the 5 of the most beautiful women on the planet. At the same time, there's nothing in the rule book that says that I get to share any of that with your sorry ass. Think about that. Quite a lot of you out here go ahead with those outlandish and outrageous kind of standards here. And the most dumbest thing about it is that there's nothing realistic about it because, when a person, like when I go from me, and I use that as an example because I don't work for Target or the Waffle House, which by the way, Waffle House is beast. I love it. But you see, the thing about it is, like, where I'm at, though, if I can take that out of the equation and my J360 Productions ownership out of the equation, you probably would just see me as somebody that don't have anything. You probably would just go ahead and use your false judgments on multiple different things and try to use that as a way to hold yourself back. And as you do with your prejudice and stuff, I get to go ahead and show up and not tell you about any of the riches I got and play whatever role I want to. And that's the beauty of it. Because once again, who's lying to who? You lied to yourself, you missed the deal, and I've already embarrassed you, and then I found somebody 10 times better that's nowhere near as shallow and as spoiled as your sorry ass is. 10 times better than my ex, too. It's one of those kind of things. So keep running around doing that nonsense and outfoxing yourself, and you're going to miss a lot of things. And I'm not saying lower your standards or anything. I'm just saying be realistic about things. I'm just saying at the same time, little things like that. Like I'm just going to drop moments of truth to you. Because God knows, like all the lying and stuff like that comes down on YouTube nowadays with this alpha male, beta male, this, or who's we getting cucked this week, or any of this stupid stuff that happens nowadays, I'm kind of over it. I'm actually a bit done with that kind of stuff. I'm done with the unattainable nonsense. I'm done with all these things because it don't lead to anywhere. It's just, once again, hey, we started off as perfect strangers, and we're going to stay perfect strangers. And there I say it, I really got rid of that Tinder because, you know what, I've noticed much like any other dating site out there, it was a tool with good intentions, but it's been perverse and screwed up by the people who use it and sit right there on the daily. So any of that shame that happened, I can't necessarily throw stones at the ones that built it because they probably had good intent, or the ones that worked there because they're trying to make money. But I can go ahead and throw stones at the people who misuse and abuse it as a punchline because guess what? They're jokes themselves. And that goes for those that use OnlyFans or actually use Patreons where, allegedly there's premium content there, but it's content that you can make with the back of your hand. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, much like anything else, little things like that is what's really screwed up about society. And people choose to be this way. Or guess what? Like something happens on national television. Like, samely, like, let's say, Mr. Hamlin's unfortunate accident, right? That could happen to anybody, but it happened on national television. And now, like I said before, people will try to use this as a crutch to try to outlaw and censor anything. Time magazine just made a article called, well, not an article per se, because it's pretty trash, but they made like this story called, Where Does Football Go From Here? Well, let me tell you where football goes from here. It goes where it usually goes. And I like to say that, guess what? It continues on. It was nice seeing how everybody came out for him. It's nice how everybody says support number 3. It's nice how everybody was donating to his charity. The man is great. Genuine article. But I do know this much about the society that we all live in. I notice that people will go ahead and they will use this as a crutch for everything, just like CTE or just like that Ray Rice issue, a long time ago with domestic abuse. People will utilize whatever they can to try to take away any sort of enjoyment people have. And it's been this way for a very long time because they always look and reach for agendas. There are always people out there who try to misuse things. And I always say this, if you have no idea what the hell you're talking about, shut the hell up, will ya? The guy had a cardiac arrest issue that happened on national television. Nobody could cut away from it at all. It happened. They didn't finish the game. A lot of respect going on, and we're just waiting for the man to make a recovery. And I hope he does. But I also know, don't go this far to talk about how football needs more regulation and all this kind of stuff, because it has been regulated. There have been many changes to the game. But I tell you this, though, what happened to Mr. Hamlin can happen to any of us. I could actually go into cardiac arrest while doing this show for you tonight. I'm not trying to risk it, but I can say it could happen. I'm not trying to say, anybody playing baseball could actually have that same situation. Any kind of sport that deals with, endurance or any sort of moment where, there's muscle fatigue. Any of y'all in the gym could go through this. Let me just tell you that, So the best thing you can do is apply CPR as soon as possible and try to get the proper help to come so they can go ahead and take him to get, really worked out and stuff like that. You should really learn how, first aid works. It's not an easy subject to talk about, but what I'm saying is that when it comes to publications, they get winds of this stuff, and this is why some people hate media, because everything's a panic. You know what I mean? Any and everything can be a panic at the most inopportune times. And the thing is that, we are still on the road to recovery. I don't know if you know this. Yes, a lot of conventions came back. Yes, a lot of things that we took for granted or all this other stuff that we enjoyed going out. Yeah, a lot of it's back. But while we're on the subject here, we're still on the road to recovery with a lot of things. And anybody sitting there yeah, all that stuff was a hoax anyway, is a real selfish jerk. Uninformed, selfish, sitting right there and acting like, oh, yeah, my lifestyle is all messed up. I remember when lockdown was around and people kept flocking over here because, they didn't have to do all this stuff, but they were always talking about, I can't wait to go back to live performances. I can't wait to do all this other stuff. It's at the end of the day, yeah, but you gotta wait anyway. Be grateful that you're alive. Be grateful that you didn't go through any of that stuff. Be grateful that you somehow managed to survive. That's the one thing people seem to forget about gratitude about things. Unfortunate stuff happens to people all the time. Quite a lot of people over there in Eastern Europe. So, yeah. But in this country, though, in the great United States of America, a lot of the infighting gets overlooked. A lot of the jealousy and all the pettiness that, that's not really funny anymore. Some of that stuff's not funny. Or even down here at the content creator game, it's just ridiculous these days. Because there are times where, I know I got to do something for y'all in the week, and I'm going to. There's moments where I'm damn. There are times where I do say that because I know that whenever something really, really significant happens in the public worldview, all that misinformation is going to come out of the woodwork a lot faster than the real information we need. And it's going to collide, and usually misinformation, because it's backed by thousands and thousands of irate morons, are going to keep circling that stuff around. And it is not fair to those that are really wanting to know what's going on. Sometimes a Google search can actually cut through all of it, but at the end of the day, people won't believe that either. So, it's just like, woof. And that's the thing about it. Like, I look at this stuff and I'm like, we could do better. Or like, here, ask the questions. Here, how can we go ahead and fix this? Or once again, don't be too over reliant on tools that are man-made. Like, there are people out there that are sitting there saying, oh my God, AI is going to take over filmmaking. AI is going to take over all this. AI will take over whatever the hell we tell it to, because once again, we created it. You forget, like that whole Terminator stuff, yeah, that came from humans. Humans created the one thing that could actually take them out. But the thing about it is, AI is not that smart yet unless you really tell them certain things. And the funny part about it is guess what? A lot of the dumbassery that's on the internet anyway, I think if anything, AI might be a little bit more remedial than need be. Because there's always one thing that conflicts the other thing, and then it'll hit the void, kind of like a TI-83. It's not even TI-83 anymore. But when I was a kid going to high school, TI-83 was like the latest calculator and stuff. And if you had things in there that didn't make any sense, it would cancel itself out. So I got nothing to worry about. You got nothing to worry about. And as far as I'm concerned, like when it comes to real art and real creativity, we put ourselves in a hole. And the truth is because I guess it's either the money issue, or I guess because people don't know how to distribute their films, or I guess because, deep down, people just don't want to do anything. People just don't want to work together unless their name is up there in one of the top spots, either top director or top actor or top producer or somebody that's really pocketing the money. And, it's not fair because, like I say, those of us that have the ability to make movies, to make shows, to make films, to do anything that's really iconic, if we would get the hell over our egos and actually work together, and then, who knows what we would accomplish. And then not to mention, we'd be the new icons. We'd be something that a lot of these upcoming teenagers would talk about. Even as I do this series and all that jazz, like I say, I look back at some of the episodes of the J-Man Show, and you know what? They still tell a pretty good story. Some of them do. Quite a lot of them, when I wasn't going at the Trump administration on things. Just because at the end of the day, I'm an American that lives in this country, and I'm on nobody's side. Even now, I'm not on Biden's side. I just look at things like, hey, let's utilize using common sense for a change. And the thing is, if I make it out okay, I'd like to see if you make it out okay. But what you do is none of my damn business unless it involves what I'm doing. See, little things like that. But nobody wants to pay attention to that. You got to be either on one gang or another gang. And you can't be just trying to coast through things. But let me just tell you this. Nobody tells me what the hell to do. So I'm going to go ahead and coast through a lot of the stuff that is around me. Because even dealing with certain content creators, I'm not on your side. I'm on my side first. And then I'll rationalize out, and if I team up with you, maybe that's a win. If I don't team up with you, you're on, well, I don't want to cuss, but you're on Skid Row, bacon face, and that's as far as it's going to go about things. It's kind of like anything dealing with some of these, I'm starting to notice more about, modern filmmaking at best, outside of the indie game and all. Traditional studio filmmaking nowadays is more or less like the NBA. Sure, the game is there, but you're not here to see the game. You want to see the off-court, behind-the-scenes melodrama BS that goes on. You want to hear about some of the people that you should not even really be paying attention to unless you are creating what they go through and all that kind of stuff. Or the Me Tooing, or who's suing who and all these other things. Because now, if you put out a trailer that has fake information in it, which quite a lot of trailers did, you can get sued now. Which is a dangerous precedent because what falls into that category? It's certain people appear in movies and then they get cut from the movie. So maybe you should look at the editor and be like, hey, guess what? Take those scenes out because that person's not in this movie anymore. You know what I'm saying? And what's weird to me is that they know this. You know what I mean? But when you look at a modern movie trailer, it's not as creative as trailers were back in the day. Like, trailers back in the day, they were supposed to get you excited, told you who was starring in this stuff. You had more exposition than that. But nowadays, you get more of the damn movie in the trailer, showing all of the parts that you paid to go see, rather than get you hyped up for the movie. You know? Quite a lot of them are notorious for this stuff. Like, yeah, as much as I like to see what Spider-Man goes through next, at the same time, I'm not as excited as it used to be. Like, you know, the whole thing with Secret Wars, like, there's so much coming out about Secret Wars right now. I could give a damn. Because, you know, that's a Phase 5 stuff, right? What really ends Phase 4 at this point? The Quantum Mania of Ant-Man 3? Is that what that is? And even then, like, I used to get really hyped for the Ant-Man movies, but I'm just not feeling it this time. And I don't know why. But I hope I get over it soon because, like, I don't want to sound like that guy that yells at clouds or be like Armand White and have a problem with every damn movie that comes out. But I always think that, you know what, we could do a lot better. And what with 2023 here and trying to get things all steam ahead, you know, get everything going the way it's supposed to, I'm going to be competition. But I'm going to be my own competition first. Because I'm really going to go through the methods of getting things done. And then I got to make sure, like, some of you actors and actresses out there are willing to work. And I don't mean, like, flex your ego and flex your award. I could give a damn about your award. I'll take your award. I'll throw it in the fires from where it came from. I don't care. I'm just looking for people that want to be about the films and want to be about the movie. And then we'll go ahead and discuss payment because I'm not afraid to discuss payment. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not like other producers. I'm not like other directors and all that kind of stuff. And I wish people would understand that. Because I had to deal with a lot to even get to this level. Yes, creating in the radio station level and then going into the video level again, which is like pretty much home because I started with video anyway. So it's funny when people come up to me and say, "Hey Jay, do you make videos?" It says productions on the tin. Of course I make videos. You never seen a power play video before, right? Which, by the way, I'm making adjustments on that too. And see, nowadays, like, because I'm so into what I'm trying to make here, not that I haven't been, all that stuff about I don't know and unsure and all that kind of stuff, let me just tell you something. You go work that out on your own time. But with me, myself, I need people that are either confident enough to say yes and confident enough to say no. I'm not into that whole wishy-washy Charlie Brown crap. That stuff's done. I've been here enough about this crap, and I've been seeing people do that too. Oh, no. You know who used to tell me I don't know about things? Whenever I had an idea about stuff that could really help out, like if I was going to film like an event and all, my own mother was like that. Because she always used to be like, oh, no. It's like, I'm like, damn. And this is just me on this one because I was a lot younger at this point. I remember one time I had like, oh my God, like I had this great plan, this phenomenal plan one time. And she kept, I don't knowing to the point where nothing happened. And I was like, what the hell was that about? It could have been done. Now, I can't think whether it was like my graduation or it was like one of those sports I used to participate in, but it was something that was really important to me, and I really was working on my filmmaking chops then because I was a lot younger. But something along the line, she just would be the biggest roadblock, and I got so tired of it. Like I said, I don't worry about like, you know, politicians. I don't worry about like executives and all that jazz because I kind of had to deal with red tape nonsense, you know, being her son. See what I'm saying? And the truth is that, like, yeah, there are moments where you don't know how a project's going to turn out. You don't know how things are going to specifically go. And I'm sure that goes for any content creator out here. But damn it, you got to have guts to follow through on things. And I always did. You see what I'm saying? Like, usually when I'm involved in something, I'm going to see it to the end. You know, but it's other people, though. Like, there are times where, like, you know, I had a project plan and it was a funny project. And then there were moments where, like, somebody in my group, it probably would be Al or it'd probably be somebody else be like, I don't know. And I'd be like, get the hell out of my sight. That's the first thing I look at them and say. Get the hell out of my sight. Because you know why? Because guess what? I'm going to follow through on this, whether you're there or not. Because this needs to get done. See, I'm not going to let projects linger anymore. There ain't going to be no more hiatuses when it comes to the power play. That stuff is done. We either make this work or we don't. Yes or no. Saves a lot of time. And let me just tell you this. If you follow through on a project, you're going to get the spoils. If you don't follow through on a project, you get jack. Okay? And truth be told, as like the summer season and all that stuff, it's going to be here quick. Because I believe 23 is going to go by quick. All right? As soon as this stuff kicks up again and I got to start doing sports videography, event videography all over again, yeah, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be out of the office. I'm going to be gone a while. Certain things are going to get cut back. And I think I know the biggest obstacle to a lot of creators out here, and y'all will disagree with me, and then some of y'all will agree with me, and I don't really give a damn who's on my side. But social media can be that way. Sit there on social media a lot of times, you know you should be writing a script. Sitting there on social media all the time, you should be filming something. Stop worrying about them damn kids that are actually out here filming on TikTok and somehow making a mint, whereas you yourself, you just need to go ahead and do your thing. You know? Use it for your benefit. Don't be like everybody else. Don't follow the trends all the time. You know, I met a lot of people out there that said, no, well, I was just wondering what's going to help me get 40,000 views. What's going to help me get... why don't you just do the damn work? You know? That would help. But once again, it's a new year, same old problem. Like for me, myself, you know, I got rid of a few things. And then, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and deactivate that Instagram too because, first off, it needs a reset. Like, a lot of things on my Instagram are going to start changing. So for those that have been following me on IG, you might want to go ahead and hold on to my email handily if you really need to talk to me about things. Or better, use the hotline number, which is 240-903-1634. That'll really lead you to J360 Radio. And I highly suggest you start leaving voicemails or start doing like a couple of call-ins because that's going to be a part of J360 TV as well as J360 Radio. And not to mention, like, there are times where I can chime you guys in on the J-Man Show, especially if you're listening to it live, which you can. You know? And if you really want to stay in step with all that's going on, I highly suggest that you subscribe to any podcast outlet that you use. Put J360 Radio in the search, and all the shows pop up, even Soda. So the whole point is just go ahead about it and follow it that way. That way so you're a subscriber, that way so you know. And then not only that, you can download the episodes and hold on to them to your heart's content. Because I'm always going to have that, guys. Like I said, I accommodated y'all just as much as I always accommodate the fans. And then there's going to be a day where, guess what? Then you're going to have to help out J360 Productions stay growing anyway. And that's the beauty of it. Like, I respect my fans. I know a lot of y'all out there are trying. I know a lot of you musicians that I know. And I always say, that's the reason why Jams is actually a bi-weekly show. Because, you know, we all need that week to ourselves, y'all. Well, some of y'all do. I got an assignment to do, like, the weeks in between jams. And usually pretty fun. But speaking of jams, by the way, that playlist is looking stellar, and 60 is ready to go on Friday. But, you know, as per usual, I got to talk about what's going on in the world, which is why the J-Man Show is here, baby. And the truth is, it's like, it's just one way or another. The only person I know that I can rely on to get me through these times is the same person that I've relied on throughout every aspect of my life. Myself. And that sounds pretty selfish, and it kind of is, but it's a very, very hard fact. Like, a kind word now and again is good. It's nice to see, like, people come up and say, hey, J-Man, how you doing? Or all that kind of stuff. Like, don't think I don't appreciate it, and don't think I don't have gratitude towards that. But I know I got to keep going for me. And the truth is that, like, even when 300 rolls around, I could stop doing the J-Man Show then, but I don't see the point of me doing that. I got to carry on. And the same thing with all the creations here. Whether, you know, pretty girls are looking my direction, or whether, like, you know, certain people that want to be like J-Man are looking in my direction, or any of that stuff. I ain't worried about it, because I still got a lot of things that need to get done in my lifetime, and I'm going to at least go ahead and get at least 75% of it done, but I'm always aiming for that whole 100, you know? And that's the beauty of looking at this kind of stuff. Even as I work on my workouts, even as I do all the things that I said I was going to do, results show. I'm not going to tell you too much of anything anymore. Results will show, and you're going to know game after a while, especially when the power play goes through its evolution and all. All these things are just going to be looking 10 times better, and I'm happy to see it. But I'm not wrong about all this stuff that goes on and Hollyweird and all that kind of stuff, or what do they call it now, Like, at the end of the day, we need to stop worrying about the show outside the show, and we need to focus on the real show, and we need to focus on, like, all the cool stuff that we can build while we have the ability to. And don't rely on AI, and don't rely on, like, just generic tools that we program to do things. We could be a lot better than this, but being lazy will get you only lazy results, and that's why you got some lackluster damn people floating around and stuff, or the wishy-washy kind and everything else. But hey, we'll dive into everything being a risk next episode. But until then, though, this is J-Man signing off. You guys take care of yourselves. The Power Play special is happening tomorrow on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/J360TV, and it's happening at 10. So, same time as any J360 show. So you guys stay tuned for that. And then, of course, those of you that are wanting that Jams episode, and I know you can taste it, that's coming Friday. So you just stay tuned, okay? Take care of yourselves. J-Man signing off.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.